Imagine the scene. May 15, 2025. Manchester's The Lowry Hotel glows under twilight. Fans pack the streets, their chants for Chris Brown echoing off glass towers. The R&B titan is hours from kicking off his Breezy Bowl tour, a spectacle billed as his grandest yet. Then, in a flash, it implodes. Armed police burst through the lobby, their shouts cutting through the buzz. Brown, mid-laugh with his crew, freezes as cuffs snap on his wrists. Cameras swarm, capturing every second as he's marched out, accused of a savage assault with a bottle that left a man broken. This isn't a fleeting tabloid storm. This is the moment Chris Brown's world starts to collapse. The story ignites 2 years earlier, February 2023, in London's Tape nightclub. The venue throbs with bass and strobe lights, its VIP section a fortress of velvet ropes and champagne. Brown, draped in designer threads, holds court, his entourage a shield against the chaos. Abraham Diaw, a respected music producer, weaves through the crowd, shaking hands with industry players. He's no stranger to high-stakes nights, but nothing prepares him for what's coming. A brief exchange with Brown, maybe a misheard word, maybe a glance, turns venomous. Diaw later swears it was nothing, but Brown's eyes darken. Witnesses say the air shifts, like a storm rolling in. Then, chaos. Brown allegedly snatches a glass bottle from a table and smashes it across Diaw's head. The producer collapses, blood pooling on the polished floor. As Diaw groans, Brown reportedly kicks him, blows landing on ribs and legs. The attack lasts seconds but feels eternal. Bouncers lunge, pulling Brown back as screams pierce the music. Cell phone videos, shaky but damning, capture the carnage. By morning, the clips are everywhere, X, TikTok, YouTube, racking up millions of views. The internet splits, some cry setup, others brand Brown a monster. Diaw's injuries are brutal, a fractured skull, torn ligaments in his knee, and trauma that wakes him screaming. Hospitalized for weeks, he faces a grueling recovery. His production work, once a steady stream of hits, stalls as clients shy away. In late 2023, Diaw files a civil lawsuit against Brown, demanding £12 million, $16 million, for medical costs, lost income, and emotional scars. The filing paints a grim picture. A man haunted by nightmares, his confidence shattered. Brown's response is swift and defiant. He calls the suit extortion, claiming Diaw provoked him with insults. His lawyers argue the producer is chasing fame, but the leaked footage, grainy yet vivid, shows Brown swinging first. Hashtags like #ChrisBrownCancelled and #JusticeForDiaw trend for weeks, while Brown's loyalists flood X with counterclaims. CB's being framed. The saga simmers, a legal standoff with no clear end. Fast forward to May 2025. Brown lands in Manchester, his swagger intact. The Breezy Bowl tour, a 20-city juggernaut, promises to cement his comeback. Arenas are booked, merch is flying off shelves, and fans are hyped. Brown's team teases surprises, guest stars, new tracks, a Netflix special. But Diaw's lawyers are watching. They've tracked Brown's movements, feeding intel to Manchester police. At 7:42 p.m., as Brown lounges in the Lowry's penthouse suite, officers raid the hotel. The arrest is surgical, no warning, no escape. Brown, dressed in a black hoodie and diamond chains, is cuffed and led through a gauntlet of flashing cameras. Fans wail, some shoving barricades as police vans peel out. X erupts. "They got Chris!" Trends globally, with 2.3 million posts by midnight. Speculation runs wild. Some call it a conspiracy, others a long-overdue reckoning. This isn't Brown's first dance with scandal. The 2009 assault on Rihanna, his then-girlfriend, remains a stain he can't outrun. The images, her bruised face, his guilty plea, still haunt Google searches. He served probation, did community service, and rebuilt his career, but the label abuser stuck. Since then, he's dodged near-constant allegations. A 2016 police standoff at his LA home, a 2019 rape accusation in Paris, charges dropped, and a 2024 documentary, Chris Brown, A History of Violence, which alleged sexual assault. Brown hit back with a $500 million defamation suit against Warner Brothers, claiming the film torpedoed his deals. Each time he's survived, dropping hits like No Guidance and selling out arenas. His fan base, millions of young, diverse devotees, calls him a victim of a vengeful industry. Critics see a cycle. Violence, denial, repeat. The Manchester arrest lands like a grenade. Unlike past scandals, the tape incident has hard evidence. Video, medical reports, witness statements. Diaw's lawsuit, now public, details a life upended. I trusted Chris as a colleague. He took a bottle and shattered my world. The producer's BBC interview, aired May 16, 2025, goes viral, his voice cracking as he describes panic attacks and a limp that won't heal. Brown's team scrambles, issuing a boilerplate statement. Chris is fully cooperating and maintains his innocence. This is a targeted attempt to sabotage his tour. But the optics are toxic. Sponsors like Nike and Red Bull, already wary, pause campaigns. Promoters in Berlin and Paris hint at canceling shows. Ticketmaster reports a 30% drop in Breezy Bowl sales within 48 hours. Analysts estimate losses could hit $50 million if the tour tanks. Brown's inner circle is a house divided. Some advisors push for a settlement with Diaw, pay him off, keep it quiet. Others want a PR blitz, an apology tour, maybe a teary Oprah interview. Brown, ever defiant, takes to X. "They can't stop me. Truth gon' drop soon." The post gets 1.2 million likes but sparks backlash. Commenters call him tone deaf. Diaw's legal team, smelling blood, preps for a criminal trial. The Crown Prosecution Service, under public pressure, fast-tracks the case. A conviction for grievous bodily harm carries up to 7 years in a UK prison, a career killer for a star who thrives on stage. Even if Brown beats the rap, the damage is mounting. RCA, his label, stays mum, but leaks suggest executives are in crisis mode. Streaming platforms face petitions to yank his music, though Spotify and Apple Music hold firm for now. The industry grapples with bigger questions. How does a star with Brown's rap sheet keep headlining? The #Me Too era has felled lesser names, yet Brown's talent, undeniable, electric, has been a shield. His 2022 album Breezy went platinum, and his 2024 single Residuals topped Billboard. Fans argue he's a scapegoat, targeted for being black and outspoken. Detractors counter that his charm masks a predator. Artists are split. Drake and Lil Wayne back him publicly, calling the arrest sus. SZA and Kalani dodge questions about past features. The debate spills onto X, where #boycott Breezy battles #FreeCB, each hashtag a proxy for deeper divides over fame, accountability, and redemption. By May 16th, Brown's out on bail but stuck in the UK, his passport seized. Paparazzi stalk him, snapping shots of a grim-faced Brown outside a Manchester courthouse. The Breezy Bowl tour is officially postponed, with promoters refunding tickets. Losses pile up, $10 million in sunk production costs alone. Diaw, thrust into the spotlight, gives more interviews, his story consistent. "I didn't want this fight. I just want justice." His words resonate, shifting sentiment. Polls on X show 62% of users believe Brown's guilty, though his core fans, vocal and relentless, keep the faith. The legal road ahead is brutal. A trial, likely set for late 2025, will be a circus. Prosecutors have Diaw's medical records, the tape footage, and a dozen witnesses. Brown's defense will lean on his star power and claims of a setup, but juries are unpredictable. A guilty verdict could lock him up until 2032, torching his career. An acquittal might save his freedom but not his brand. Too many sponsors are gone, too many fans are wavering. The court of public opinion is harsher still. X posts dissect his every move, from old lyrics to new mugshots. "He's done," one viral thread declares, racking up 400,000 likes. "CB forever," another replies, proving his base won't quit. Beyond Brown, the ripple effects are seismic. The music industry, already navigating post-Me Too waters, faces a reckoning. Labels rethink how they handle problematic stars. Festivals tighten vetting for headliners. Fans grapple with separating art from artist. Can you vibe to With You knowing the man behind it? Some say yes, streaming his catalog in defiance. Others delete his playlists, their trust broken. The tape incident, unlike past allegations, feels undeniable, its evidence too raw to dismiss. For Brown, this is more than a legal fight. It's existential. At 36, he's no longer the teen prodigy who flipped the game. Younger stars like SZA and Post Malone dominate charts, and his relevance hinges on nostalgia and loyalists. The Manchester arrest could be the tipping point, a scandal too big to spin. If the tour folds, if the trial goes south, he risks fading into irrelevance, a cautionary tale of talent squandered. Yet Brown's history suggests he'll fight. He's weathered storms before, turning haters into fuel. A new album, a viral hit, a redemption arc. It's not impossible. But the clock is ticking, and the world is watching. The bottle that shattered Diaw's skull broke something bigger. Brown's myth of invincibility. Whether he rises or falls, the Manchester arrest marks a turning point. The breezy era, once unstoppable, is on life support. Will Chris Brown rewrite his story, or is this the final verse? Only time and a UK courtroom will tell. As the dust settles on Chris Brown's arrest in Manchester, the world holds its breath. Released on bail but confined to the UK, Brown holes up in a discreet Manchester apartment, far from the glitz of the Lowry. It's May 17, 2025, and the city pulses with speculation. Tabloids plaster his face across front pages, dubbing him the fallen star. On X, the debate rages. Some users dissect his past, others prophesy his comeback. But behind closed doors, Brown faces a new reality. A career on the brink, a fan base fracturing, and a trial that could lock him away. This is no longer about dodging headlines. It's about survival. The legal machinery grinds forward. The Crown Prosecution Service, buoyed by public outcry, builds a formidable case. They secure new evidence. Security footage from tape's back entrance showing Brown fleeing the club, his hoodie stained with what tests confirm is Diaw's blood. 3 additional witnesses, bartenders who saw the brawl's prelude, corroborate Diaw's account, describing Brown as unhinged after a heated phone call minutes before the attack. The prosecution's star witness, a former friend of Brown's, agrees to testify, claiming Brown bragged about handling Diaw post-incident. This betrayal stings. Brown's inner circle, once ironclad, is crumbling. His legal team, led by a high-powered London barrister, counters with a risky strategy. Portray Diaw as a clout chaser who escalated the fight for attention. They dig into Diaw's past, unearthing old tweets praising Brown, suggesting he sought proximity to the star. It's a long shot and the public isn't buying it. X polls show 68% now view Brown as guilty. Outside the courtroom, Brown's empire unravels. The Breezy Bowl tour's collapse triggers a domino effect. Venues in Amsterdam and Madrid, spooked by the scandal, cancel bookings outright, citing reputational risk. Live Nation, the tour's promoter, faces $15 million in losses and quietly distances itself, redirecting hype to Beyoncé's upcoming stadium run. Brown's merch empire, hoodies, sneakers, NFTs, tanks as retailers like Foot Locker pull stock. His management scrambles to salvage deals, but the phone stops ringing. A planned Adidas collab, teased in April 2025, is shelved indefinitely. Even his digital footprint takes a hit. TikTok bans a popular dance challenge tied to his latest single, citing community guidelines. The message is clear: brands want distance, and fast. Brown's fan base, though, is a battlefield of its own. The CB Army, as they call themselves, mounts a fierce defense. They flood X with montages of Brown's charity work, donating to schools, mentoring kids, insisting he's more than his mistakes. A fan-led petition to save Breezy gathers 500,000 signatures, urging the UK to drop charges. But cracks appear. A vocal minority, mostly younger fans, defects, posting tearful videos about unfollowing their idol. "I loved Chris, but I can't defend this," one 19-year-old says, her clip hitting 3 million views. The shift is seismic. Brown's core demographic, Gen Z women, wavers. A YouGov survey reveals 55% of his UK fans are reconsidering their support, a stat that sends his team into panic. In response, Brown's PR machine pivots. Gone are the defiant X posts. Instead, he hires a crisis management firm, the same one that rehabbed Justin Bieber's image post-2014. They orchestrate a low-key move. Brown visits a Manchester youth center, playing basketball with teens and dodging cameras. The photos leak anyway, sparking mixed reactions. Some call it a cynical stunt. Others see a man seeking redemption. His team floats an open letter penned by Brown, expressing regret for the pain caused without admitting guilt. It's a tightrope walk, appease critics without tanking his defense. The letter, posted on Instagram, gets 2 million likes but draws fire for its vagueness. "Say you're sorry or shut up," one commenter writes, summing up the mood. Meanwhile, Abraham Diaw emerges as an unlikely symbol. The producer, soft-spoken and camera-shy, becomes a reluctant advocate. He partners with a UK anti-violence charity, speaking at a London rally on May 20th. "This isn't about fame," he says, voice steady. "It's about accountability." His words resonate, especially with survivors of assault who flood his DMs with support. Diaw's GoFundMe, initially launched to cover medical bills, surges past £500,000, fueled by strangers moved by his story. He donates half to trauma centers, a move that cements his credibility. But fame has its claws. Trolls harass him online, accusing him of milking the scandal. Diaw, drained, retreats from the spotlight, letting his lawyers speak. The industry, too, is soul-searching. Brown's arrest reignites debates about toxic stars. At a London music conference, panelists clash over whether talent excuses behavior. Chris sells tickets, but at what cost? A Sony exec asks, sparking murmurs. Smaller artists, long silenced, start speaking out. A UK rapper, JME, posts a viral thread about witnessing Brown's bully vibes at a 2022 event, emboldening others to share stories. The whispers grow louder. Brown's charm, once a shield, is losing its shine. Major festivals like Glastonbury quietly blacklist him for 2026, a move insiders say is preemptive. The shift isn't just about Brown, it's a warning to others. The era of untouchable stars is over, a Billboard op-ed declares. Brown, isolated, leans on a shrinking circle. His mother, Joyce, flies to Manchester, her presence a rare anchor. Late-night calls with his daughter, Royalty, keep him grounded, though he shields her from the news. But cracks show, insiders report he's spiraling, haunted by the trial's stakes. A guilty verdict could mean 7 years in HMP Manchester, a grim fortress far from LA's sunshine. His team explores plea deals, but the prosecution, emboldened by evidence, won't budge. A pre-trial hearing is set for July 2025, with jury selection to follow. The case will hinge on emotion, Diaw's testimony versus Brown's star power. Legal experts give Brown a 40% chance of acquittal, citing his wealth and fame. But juries, they warn, hate arrogance. As summer looms, Brown plots a comeback. He records in a makeshift Manchester studio, channeling pain into tracks. Sources say the music, raw, confessional, could be his best yet. But releasing it is dicey. A new single now risks looking callous. His team debates a documentary, one framing him as misunderstood, but Netflix passes, wary of backlash. Brown's options narrow. Every move is a gamble. X remains his lifeline, where he posts cryptic Bible verses, hinting at renewal. Fans eat it up, but the wider world is skeptical. He's got to do more than quote Psalms, a viral tweet reads. The Manchester arrest has reshaped the game. For Brown, it's a fight for freedom and legacy. For Diaw, it's justice. For the industry, it's a mirror, forcing a hard look at who gets a pass. As the trial nears, one thing is clear. The bottle that broke Diaw's skull shattered more than bone. It cracked an era, and what comes next, redemption or ruin, is anyone's guess. Weeks after the Manchester arrest, Chris Brown is a ghost in the city. Holed up in a nondescript flat, he's a far cry from the superstar who once lit up arenas. It's June 2025, and the UK trial looms like a guillotine. The media frenzy has dulled, but the stakes are sharper than ever. Brown's bail conditions, ankle monitor, no travel, chain him to Manchester's grey streets. On X, fans cling to hope, trending #CBW will rise, but the tide is turning. The world waits to see if he'll fight or fall. The prosecution tightens its grip. New evidence surfaces. A taped bartender's sworn statement claiming Brown threatened Diaw hours before the attack. The Crown secures a forensic report linking glass shards in Diaw's wounds to a specific bottle brand Brown was seen holding. His defense scrambles, floating a self-defense angle, but it's flimsy. Videos show Diaw retreating. Brown's team shifts to character witnesses, lining up childhood friends to vouch for his heart. Yet, a leaked email from his ex-manager reveals doubts. Chris needs to own this or he's done. The betrayal fuels Brown's paranoia. He trusts no one. His career bleeds out. A planned Vegas residency set for 2026 is axed. Spotify playlists quietly shrink his presence. Fans rally with virtual listening parties, but streaming numbers dip 20%. Brown, restless, sketches a low-key comeback, an acoustic EP recorded in secret with lyrics about regret. His team hesitates. Too soon, too risky. Instead, he donates £100,000 to a UK trauma charity, a move praised but overshadowed by Diaw's ongoing advocacy. The producer's TEDx talk on surviving violence goes viral, casting him as a hero, Brown as a villain. The pre-trial hearing nears, set for July 10th. Brown's odds dim. Legal analysts predict a 70% chance of conviction. A plea deal floats. 2 years, reduced charges. He balks, betting on his charm. But the jury pool, drawn from Manchester's diverse working class, may not sway. As the date closes in, Brown posts a single word on X: faith. It's a flicker of defiance, but the world wonders. Can he outrun his past, or is this the end?